All right, welcome back to Blue by 90. I'm Justin, joined by Jackie and Caitlin as always, and it is officially just beat Ohio State time.
It is. This is a very exciting week. We're gonna have a lot of shit going on this week.
Oh my god, it's a stress. I'm like nervous and stressed already, to be honest.
I told you guys, if it's a close game with Illinois or we lose, then we know that Michigan was preparing for Ohio State that whole week. So I have very high vibes.
Well,
very high vibes.
It was probably your fault. You put up just beat Ohio State stuff on our site pre-Illinois,
and hey, we beat Illinois. That's a good defense.
They're
Chase Brown is like team. Legit.
I don't know how they lost to Purdue.
I don't either. They played better than Michigan did yesterday.
Probably altogether.
100%.
The defense is legit.
Their defense is legit. Quarterback had some nice throws.
Danny DeVito.
God, I should have worn my Danny DeVito shirt today.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a good team. I think you could also say that we didn't play like to our best by any means.
Yeah.
The offense struggled at times for sure. God, we got to get healthy. We got to get healthy so bad.
I was nervous when Blake got hurt.
Oh, geez. I mean, when Blake goes down there, heart just sink.
Oh, you can feel the energy leave the stadium.
Oh my
God. But he rushed the ball in the second half, apparently.
So he came back in, and so he came running out of the tunnel, right, for the second half, came back in for like one play, and then went back out, and they took his helmet away.
Do you think they gave him the Friday Night Lights juice?
Oh, they might have.
Or was that Varsity Blues?
I don't know.
Varsity Blues juice. Which one had Johnny Moxon?
That's not Friday
Night
Lights.
But then, like, what Stokes got out there, I kind of liked him too.
I like CJ Stokes.
Okay, let's talk about this rotation because, I mean, obviously Corum goes out. So Harbaugh says that after the game, he says Corum was cleared to play if we needed him to go, like they could have.
Mm-hmm.
But also in my head, I'm like, we kind of needed him to go. I mean, you're down 7 in the fourth quarter.
I was stressed for the first time in this whole Michigan football season. I was stressed. I was at the bar at Pretzel Bell, like hands over my face, and it was just. And I went to Pretzel Bell because we had a bad experience at Jim Brady's. I don't like to put out negative vibes out there, but man, awful customer service from the bartender.
Yeah,
I was very upset with that.
I mean, she probably had a long day. So
I get it.
Day.
Yeah,
I get it.
You were probably just drunk.
No, I was sober. Kalen was drunk, and then he left. So I was like, "Come on, show me some love."
All
right. Probably because Kalen left, she was pissed.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. If Kalen left me and I was just left with you, I'd be pretty pissed too. To be honest,
it's understandable.
Speaking of, I'll see you guys.
Fair enough. Yeah.
No. Okay. So Corum goes out, and then, I mean, I thought it was going to be Stokes and Dunlap. Like, obviously, Stokes has shown in the past couple weeks with Donovan out, like he's done well.
He's good.
And then I don't know if he was hurt or what, but we were just going with Isaiah Gash, who I love Isaiah Gash, but it was like, I mean, we're down to that 4th and 3 with 3 minutes left or whatever it is. The entire season was on Isaiah Gash's shoulders.
It's wild.
I mean, we throw 4th and 3 to him after he had already dropped one, which I love the redemption, love going back to him. But, like,
did he drop it before that or after that?
It was before, yeah.
Oh, damn. I thought it was. No, yeah.
You dropped the 3rd down.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. Like, I love Isaiah Gash, but, like, I just don't know if we want this 10-0 season on the shoulders of a freshman who has seen very little play.
Well, I mean, I think that to like go along with this, I mean, I'm glad he played because, like you said, we don't want like our season dependent on this guy. If we lose this game, again, I said it before in another podcast, it's irrelevant. You beat Ohio State, you go to the Big Ten championship. That's what matters. So yeah, keep Blake off the field. Dono, like make sure those guys are healthy for the game that matters next week. But yeah, dude, Isaiah Gash had me all over my emotions yesterday. Thank God he made that catch.
Oh, my God.
But then there was the one where JJ dumped it down. And normally, like I was saying before, he looks at the 2nd or 3rd level. He had Colston Loveland in the end zone.
Oh.
Wide open.
And then he hit him on the next play as well.
Yeah. And that was just a tough throw.
I mean, I have been defending JJ on throughout the season. I still think JJ is a phenomenal quarterback.
Of course.
But, like, and I'm 1,000% sure he would say this too. Those are throws that you absolutely have to make.
Well, and
if
then
you want to be a Big Ten winning quarterback, if you want to be, a Heisman guy, which
Mhm.
like I know that he has aspirations to do, like you can't miss those throws.
Well, and then there was times when he had great throws and the receivers dropped him. It's like it just they weren't in sync.
For
But
whatever,
it
that's
was
what I was just about to say. It just feels for the past few weeks like that the JJ and the receivers have not been on the same page.
well, and it seems like for me, and I'm gonna just I don't even want to say it because I don't want to like start any negative rumors, but it just feels like JJ and Andrew Anthony have like no chemistry. And even when they do, it's like then Andrew Anthony finally got a ball that he didn't have to dive for right in his fucking hands. And maybe it was
Right.
just cold, but I don't want to say that because as we say to Ohio State, and can't make that their argument against us. But I mean, it was right there. I was like, finally, he gets one. Then it just goes right through his hands.
I'll give him that. All right, he's double covered, and he like kind
But
of
still, he had
broke
a
through the double
beautiful
coverage.
lane.
And then so it's tough because there's like a lot going on, but you have your hands right.
I mean, the
Yeah.
lane to the football was wide open.
Yes.
The defenders were in his peripherals.
Right.
I see what you're saying. I mean,
You're
he made a
battling-
great
you're
move to
battling it
get
the
through
whole
there.
time, so it makes it not easy. But
But
here's
would
my
we
thing.
expect that after all the tough catches he made last year? I'm like, oh, no brainer. He's touchdown.
Well,
If you would have shown me that a picture of that right before the ball was going to go in his hands, I'm like, that's an automatic touchdown. That's going to be framed forever in Michigan football history.
and I think that like also Andrew Anthony has been. I don't think he's been outspoken, but I don't think it's a secret that he's like, I want to be the guy. I
Right.
want more opportunities. I
frustrated.
want this, and so it's like when you get the
You got a huge opportunity,
bro, like,
you got to kind of back it up.
You got capitalized.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too. Like because we were down, I thought some of the offense got a little bit more creative in terms of like they were doing like pulling guys and trying to run left and things like that.
Well, it finally got to that when we were down in the fourth quarter, but before that, we knew that Illinois had one of the top rush defenses in the country, and we're just like, we're just gonna keep running it a million times, even though it was not working.
And then
in the second half.
I know, and I like tossed and turned like in my mind while watching this game because we were like, we don't know what kind of throw we're gonna get out of JJ. If we do get a good throw, our receiver's gonna catch the ball. Like, did they really have another choice? And like for me, like I was like, well, I don't want him to run the ball. I want him to pass the ball. But then it's like, fuck, well, if they pass and they don't catch it. Like,
it
was just like it was an internal battle. I was just like sitting there, like, what do they do?
That's
just getting field goal range for Moody.
What Harbaugh and Moore and Weiss were thinking. They're like, all right, I feel like we need to throw the ball because they're going to stack the box, but we can't move the ball while we're throwing it. So we're going to try and stick with the run. But I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I think last week I said on the podcast, I was like, I want JJ to hit all those throws and feel confident. It felt like it went even in a worse direction, honestly.
Because how can you feel confident when you do have a good throw and they're not catching it?
Yeah.
And I think there was, I remember because we were still at the game. It was in the first half. I'll say this. I'm ashamed of myself. We left after the first half. Had to go to a bar, get some more drinks. Wasn't really feeling the fireball we brought in.
Well, we just got negative vibes trying to hold the Ohio.
Oh, that dude pissed me off. We had our Ohio Sucks flag that we brought in, trying to hold it up during a media timeout when nothing's happening on the field. This guy's like, we can't see what's happening. I'm like, dude, there's nothing going on. Like, I understand. I understand his frustration.
Like he was
like maybe if he had like a kid there or something, like they can't see what's going on. They want to see what's going on.
It was a timeout.
I'm like, it's a timeout. Nothing's going on the field. And we were purposely doing it during the timeouts.
We put the flag away.
Anytime there was like anything happening on the field, we were putting it away. So yeah, that kind of killed my vibe. But there was a really good throw that JJ had about 25 yards down the field. I think it was either Roman or Ronnie or somebody. But it was a bullet right on the sideline. And I thought that would kind of spark the momentum and give him some confidence. But then it's just, it's like some balls were slipping out of his hands. When he did get it there, guys were dropping it or it was going through their hands. So I think it was just a frustrating day for the offense. Every team has that game, right?
Well,
get it out of the way before Ohio State.
JJ still came out with like 200 passing yards.
This actually backs up my theory. Harbaugh was telling those guys to drop the ball. He was like, JJ, I need you to, kind of the conspiracy theory. Just wait till JJ goes 40 for 44 against Ohio State with 383 yards and 5 touchdowns.
How many rush yards?
I think he'll have a good amount, depending on if Dono or Blake are healthy.
Over under like 30 and a half.
Over.
Okay. That's
Over.
a good game.
Over for sure.
I mean, let's talk about the defense too. I mean, you still held your offense didn't play very well, but your defense still held them to only 150 rush yards and 178 passing yards.
And
I mean,
and
that's still great.
Danny DeVito was throwing dots out there.
Yeah,
And
I
it was
thought
one of the
that their
best running
offense
backs
was
in the
good.
country. You know,
Yeah.
I'll take that effort from the defense. For
And
sure.
honestly, I felt like Chase Brown did really not much until like that second half drive, and then when they were trying to ice the game, he was running pretty well. We did stop him. I mean, the defense came up so clutch in the end with some huge stops to get our offense back. Especially I mean, kicking a field goal down 4 with like 3 minutes left.
That was.
I know. I was like, shit.
I especially after okay, so it was what like 4th and 4, 4th and 3, and that's when they went for it. But then they kicked a field goal. I think it ended up being like 4th and 7 or something, 4th and 8, which I understand it's obviously more difficult. But that's a lot of trust in your defense, and that's a lot of trust in Jake Moody, which is obviously. I mean, let's get to that. Like
Kicker of the year.
Fucking goat. I mean,
dog.
Absolute dog.
Let's not forget the holder. Let's not forget the
Brad
snapper.
Robbins.
Beautiful on all fronts.
Like,
blockers.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Big Dick Moody, dude.
Just
chill his effort.
Just nuts.
What was going through your head? Yeah, just make the field goal. Is that what he said? What did he say?
I didn't even watch that.
Oh god, it was just like the chillest thing ever. It's like I was like, he needs a CBD deal.
I will say
ASAP.
I need to talk to him. He's got to take the skull cap off before his
dude. That just adds to the Money Moody persona. It adds to the persona, dude.
I was like, bro,
it really makes the mustache
like
pop. It makes the mustache pop.
Look like a nerd with that on when you take your helmet off.
I love it, dude.
Come on, man.
I love it.
But him going into the locker room and then go Moody, absolute electric.
That's
factory.
awesome.
Oh, holy shit!
My God.
That gave me chills. I mean, so I was actually talking to him earlier this week, and him and Blake are like 1A, 1B for most points scored in the country this year.
Yeah.
And so he said him and Blake were going at it this week, like who's gonna end up. And I'm pretty sure he took it over, right? Like
had
he's
to have,
in a commanding lead.
He had 12. I think he had 13 points.
Yeah. He was
because he had four field
for
goals and then he had the extra point from a touchdown.
Yeah, and Blake had 1 touchdown, right?
Yeah.
So commanding lead for Moody over Blake.
That's awesome.
I mean, can we just talk about that being like
fucking kicker, dude?
How cool is the fact that we have the top 2 scorers and like we're like battling over who's going to be the number 1 scorer in the country.
If you can't enjoy Michigan football right now, I don't know what to tell you, because you've got they just put something up last week. I think before this week, it was like a top 5 defense, top 5 offense. You've got a Heisman trophy candidate. You've got the best kicker in the country. You've got a defense that is like just so fun to rally around because what do they call it? The no-star defense.
Yeah.
But you have guys that are like, if they were to be graded now, would all be 5 stars.
100%.
Like these guys are incredible on all fronts, and it's just we haven't been 11-0 since 2006. We grew up in Ann Arbor, right? I haven't seen the city of Ann Arbor like this since then, surrounding Michigan football. I mean, it's you say go blue to people, they'll say go blue back. Yeah. That was the coolest fucking thing after the game the other day. I was just walking by people, like normally you kind of have to get their attention and be like, hey, excuse me, and they like go blue. And then they'll respond. Yeah. But I'm just like, any person I saw was like, go blue. They're like, go blue, baby. Big game next week.
I love it.
I mean, it was I felt like we were down south. You know, I felt like I was saying Roll Tide.
I mean,
it was
been
fucking
like my
incredible.
biggest complaint about Michigan fans, to be honest, is the go blue. Like I'll get the silent treatment a lot of times.
Yeah.
Even if it's like when I'm like not in Ann Arbor and I see somebody wearing blue, like maize and blue or wearing Michigan,
you have to get one then.
I get the silent treatment.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like you should. Like that would be more like you're repping outside of
1,000%.
like Ann Arbor outside
People
the
look at me and I'm like, you're the one wearing it. Why
you prompted me?
Yeah.
You're sending me signals here, okay? I'm just trying to like go off your vibe.
I don't know, man. It's but I agree with you. Okay. I understand the frustration with like the offense. Like obviously we want to win every game fucking 50-0, right? I understand that like we could have played better yesterday, but I agree with you, Jack. Like can we just be happy that 11-0 is unreal?
Fucking
And
insane.
also, if go back to every 11-0 team in the history of ever, like you're gonna have scares throughout
Yeah.
the season. Ohio State had a scare yesterday.
They've had a couple
TCU
scares so far.
had a freaking crazy scare.
Yeah.
Tennessee
Tennessee
got their
lost.
shit stomped. Like,
Yeah.
do you know how hard it is to go through a season, get to Columbus undefeated? Obviously, it happens once every 15
Right.
years.
And how often does a this might have to be the first time ever in Michigan history. Someone might have to look it up, but how often does a Big Ten champion just came off a victory to OSU last season, Michigan go 11-0, and we feel confident that we can beat Ohio State? When's the last time you had this feeling?
I
never. I've never had that feeling. I don't know if that's ever happened before in Michigan football.
I mean, you think let's go back to last year. We're 20 something and 2 over the last like 24 months.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's crazy to me. But listen again. We can have super high standards, right? And we can want the best, and we can want JJ to make a bunch of throws. We can want Blake to run for 200 yards.
We still got to appreciate it.
Like, dude, I mean, it just doesn't happen that often.
No.
And go ask a 99% of teams out there would wish to be us right now.
Yeah.
There's 3 teams that are in the same situation as us. It's us, TCU, and Ohio State. So just be freaking happy. And you know what? Like, I hate saying this because I don't want to set us up like that. Like, I don't want to win that game next week. But like, even if that game doesn't go our way, 11-1 is still pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah. Like, I will be honest. And normally, I'm not like, if we don't beat Ohio State, I'm going to be upset. I'm like, hey, they're a good team. It's a tough game. I've kind of like let myself lull down into that level of, it's just not realistic to expect us to beat Ohio State. If we don't beat Ohio State this year, as a fan, I'll be upset and for the first time in like a long time. I mean, obviously, I get upset when we lose to Ohio State, but like, I've never really had the expectation of like,
like as if we should have.
Yeah, and I won't be disappointed like in the team. I'll be disappointed for them because I mean, like for them, I mean, I can't even imagine how they're feeling. They're like, dude, like we got this in the fucking bag. Like, this is a turning point for this program, and we can really like elevate to be in the same conversations as Georgia and Alabama and those guys.
Let's talk about that for a second. Like, I do they've got to be feeling the pressure, but the pressure's there because
it is.
Obviously the pressure's there to go win a Big Ten championship and a national championship this year. But like, I agree with you. Legitimately, if you win this game, the whole thing changes.
They're gonna fire Ryan Day.
They legitimately will be.
I think they will fire Ryan Day.
If he loses twice,
yeah,
fire him.
The fan base will be rioting, calling for his head on a stake.
We'll have to bring the Ryan Day clown shirt back.
Yes. Oh my God. I mean, they legitimately that's where I think that Ryan Day might get a little tight next week. Like, he might get a little bit like,
his butthole will be closed.
Dude, if we go out and like score first, I think he's gonna be like, fuck.
Yeah,
super tight
gonna
butthole,
like
dude.
shell up and try and like pass the ball.
God, I hope it's fucking cold next week.
Oh my God. I wanna here's the thing though, like I'm going to that it'adium. I'm very nervous.
It's very exciting weekend.
This is a safe space, right?
This is a safe space.
And everything,
we have your Just Beat Ohio State hoodie.
My mom is. She's called me every single day. Like, you're gonna wear black, right? You're just gonna wear like neutral colors.
Oh, you're gonna die.
And I'm gonna. If you're listening out there and you're going to Columbus, please DM us. I want to meet up. We need to move in packs. We can't have
I need an army.
People. Yes, like legitimately. I am going to try and throw a little tailgate. We've got a good crew that's going down there, but I'm like that stadium. Those fans are going to be out
ruthless.
For blood. Like, legitimately, like after last year, they are going to want to fucking murder us.
Side note, ad placement. If you're going down to Columbus, go hit up Blue by 90, hang out with Justin. If you're staying in Ann Arbor, Kalen and I will be at Monty's Public House, and we're going to do a watch party.
That's right.
With the Monty's crew. Really good people, great customer service, incredible food. Coldest drafts in Ann Arbor, I believe.
Yeah.
And they're going to have some, I think they're going to have some like vendors and giveaways, some gift card stuff, giveaways. with all that. But we'll probably be out in the parking lot. I don't know, 10 a.m. Monty's open 11. Maybe a little flip cup. They got some coffee out there.
Oh, nice.
So come hang out with us if you're in Ann Arbor. Hang out with Justin if you're in Columbus, and just beat Ohio State.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. Let's talk about the rest of college football. There's this team that also plays in Michigan, just a poverty program.
God, I love it.
I almost don't even want to talk about them because they don't deserve our energy because we are playing our real rivals next week.
Yeah.
But they have they've obviously had a ridiculously disappointing season, and it's just
hard not to smile.
So fucking laughable
hard not to smile.
that like okay they're trying to like salvage this shitty season by like winning out and going to a bowl game, and they like had the chance and they lose to Indiana, who is it's like a tie between Indiana and Northwestern for worst teams in the Big Ten by far, and they have a chance. They just don't have Jake Moody. They don't have Jake Moody.
They don't have Jake Moody.
Imagine having a kicker that just shanks fucking 24-yard field goals.
It looked like that guy that was kicking a field goal. What was it, between the first and second quarter?
Oh, tough look.
I
will say
24-yarder. When you guys did the kick,
it was hard. But this guy's got fucking legs like a pendulum.
I'm not,
and he was drilling him.
Like
he was drilling him.
What does that mean?
Like he's it's like a pendulum or. Yeah, it's like a fucking giant brick on his. Like his foot is just a giant brick. I'm convinced he's just got a Terminator leg.
I mean, I feel like
he was going toe to toe with Moody.
No
pun intended.
25 yards. Could you make a 25-yarder?
I did,
yes.
But it was like maybe my 8th try.
Yeah,
I had to change up my
like
form
I
a
was
bunch of times.
Kind of drilling 25 yarders, and then like
you got to like 35, maybe 40.
I made one. It was tough, and then Moody was just like, "I'm gonna go
65."
65.
Oh yeah, no
like,
problem.
I'm just gonna drop my dick down.
Jesus, dude. All right, so we've got 4 minutes left of recording time before apparently on the Anchor site. I mean, that helps us out anyway. So
yeah, we got to get out of here anyway. Ohio State
just beat them.
They
look beatable.
They look beatable. I think Maryland
very beatable.
I don't know. I just don't think that they're. I'm gonna knock on wood because they for sure. Like this, it does feel a little bit like 2018, where like they've stumbled, they look beatable, and then they just like release everything, on Michigan. I can see that happening. It's really hard to win in Columbus, but I just feel like we are just as good as them. That's where
We're better
agree.
Than them.
That's where I agree with you, Jack. For the first time, I didn't feel like last year. I didn't like go into that game feeling like because we had never done it,
No.
So I was
like it was almost kind of a joke. Like, yeah, we're gonna kill them this year.
Exactly. But now, like, I legitimately feel like we can go toe to toe with them. Does that mean we win the game? Not. It doesn't, right? Like, there's a lot of factors that go into there, and it's hard to win. But like for the first time, I feel like we're the aggressor, and like they are like they've got to, show up against us.
They're on defense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When have you ever felt like that?
It was 2006.
Yeah.
16 years ago. If we want to feel any older than we are. 16
God.
years ago. I was 13. I was a teenager 16 years ago.
I do feel old.
God, that's sad.
So I agree with you. I will be disappointed. I mean, it'll be
disappointed for them, not in them.
No, total. Like disappointed with them.
They're the ones doing it.
Like yeah. Like
just to be
the
clear.
The last thing I'll do ever is talk shit about these guys because for a couple reasons. A, they're really fucking good at football, and they don't deserve to be shit on, and they care a lot. These are such good dudes.
Oh yeah.
This is just an incredible group of guys. And they, there's been teams in the past where like I think I've been frustrated with them because I didn't feel like they like maybe put their whole heart into it or like that is just it couldn't be farther from the truth with this team. And so that's where I want my head at, and I hope the fan base is going into this game where it's just like I want them to win, and if it doesn't work out, I know that this team like will leave a legacy at Michigan, and they're Michigan men.
Just check their trophy case this year.
True.
Stocked.
True. Absolutely. All right. Well, we'll have more content for you coming up this week. Very excited. I mean, again, I'm nervous as fuck already. This is like, I don't know if I'm going to sleep all week long. I'm flying to Clemson for Thanksgiving. Then flying straight from Clemson to Columbus. I'm
Wow.
just going, fuck it mode.
That's wild.
It's going to be wild. For us, you can follow us at Blue by 90 on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Blue by 90 Podcast on YouTube, and blueby90.com. Go get your Just Beat Ohio State gear. We appreciate you. Go Blue.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.